Mama ever say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Na mamemfa another developer mranso.
Okay.
Ura chama Wontumi o chairman. Igami national chairman. What baby asem so drum. Say July 3rd and omode atemu beba. Ewa akonta mine ne ho yewu apia ku bi so sorry ade na yemfa maaye no wo se an wo koyini wo afi mu dwada de koyi binim so ni de akira
mani de akira papa na koya we ho tem o maya ye timu no e kwa ye fa so a ye de entantia e di sisi nipa e di nipa e pati e di nipa tumu no papa we ya we ho tem na enya papa
Okay, then. Okay, 1, 0, 1 point 7.
Ono awakana se waso ayo brafo onipa so ubedi hiye ubeko wanima enam paso eju wan trase emfa nensa engu nensa emu na wan trase na common de no right from time I wo no and was starting to odija na wo ye aduma na nya de nipa beye enya de nipa beye ene betima bra Wontumi ase Wontumi nya metiase no baba be wo hwe asem na ekoso tamo boy case no a everyfo na wudi hu a wontiase baba me enti obi atimi actual letter akoma regional security coordinators and coordination akate wo mo se amanfo akọ ne contest so there's the old dim woman. What your letter? I could catch a woman. Almost to a court. I bet you and maybe would to be extra letter by say. The contest, and for a cost for no. And that dear old dim woman. Now, almost your illegal was so all complain your woman. It is that same way, yet to be just so, I can say. Wakoya bibisa ono na dini tumi ama wo mwana abra ye nyina ye di case he said attorney general entimi nya dance bia exercise Wontumi na de na sase ama wo mu na wo hwe dia ekwoso yi pa tete bibia tete ye di Wontumi kwa kotum ejepe bode na waye eti ADC fo a mo so ya buto budi mo so ya titibie Mosusu yedimu a president kwade na no atumu se ne nkofo no susu kalamse no mosusu mu bejira hefa mo fama no antum bakwa me eya me ya na ba ko asa ya me ya kra ye lawyer Abdi Apia Kubidie o se ekoya je na paso educate no appoint because e bia kra kabi baba me show say me kra me do what
wo be kan wa akwa say kontam dodo ade no ese yeyi bire kire film na nam so gogwagwa wo kan wa
sa na wo die fie sa na lawyer and Apia Kubi e tre kwai say oye lawyer no wa client bebre sometimes the crowd no I want to represent other clients or tre kwai kwa sa na judge no e man kwai sa ye di mudia ya ka tre no what you say? It is for Cecia, a lawyer and Apia Kubi, and they are Babon home case. The whole case you were caught. Now, say, will lawyer, FPA, ever cut out the Muya. Now, acquire our hotel. Yet, no, they are Ghana for a B and JB, or B Yagan and the JB. If you bet me a cassette, and then a contact boy, what? Ye knew of your dear or your galamtea now. Ye knew of your draw. Okay, then 1, 0, point 7. Yes, so I'm not fine. I'm a OB. I'm the concession. All need to control. Yeah, the concession is to power black rabbit. Concession, no, who dream one better and control veranda. So, I'm not part what will be. I start a young time. And that was obvious. You first, I go ahead your best. Then the disaster will age so July 10th, you want to be able to do that. Black Army, ya papa. Now I will work on me, papa, and I'm in the work.
If Yami will maybe you, why?
Black Army, the air cost because dependent for that dream for the panel, my brother has been for go to lawyer. I feel could be a several candidate. The court to your court to pass, yeah. The court to no better than who say your court. Now, and someone are going to a court to her. Now, and second, you be a free person.
Okay, FM. Okay. 101.7.
I will court and also there. And such I say we above your wound to me. Now, lawyer can't answer we are back on me. And you're prison now.
Asemo, but so no so and the incoming national chairman of the new political party.
And the also soon the or no the first national chairman was that prison. You bet two abba say you two abba you know as the first chairman out of that prison. Now NDC any abba only any other outfit than to go and bring him back to the new patriotic party. Oh, just say, you bet two abba no. You bet two abba was that prison. Now, Opian who have that reason, the idea of that say, you the prison or no about baby or Slama you go then. He said, the echo to your papa and your papa or tiny dog.
Okay, 101.7.
That makes all standing back would to me. Now I am before.
And no medal now post now walk on idea.
I may call regional secretary. None of our fireman, never come away from you.
I'm a cow pa. Nanyame subama when this wadi hunu abem na party no afa tampa e de fra na sade wachita afo one of the wachire be ye no wonso abeto anwuma no so e ma wo sono no amanyoku no aye krabehwe e wasantimantem.
Amen. Amen.
Sounds baba. Over Paul Yando. And I know to and come on now.
Okay, FM. 101.7.
One of us, Chairman, to me. The case in this woman, no judge in this woman file addresses on or before 17th of this month. Now, 3rd July. One more, one for Atemu Emra. Now, multimedia, someone 10 times say, and you are to be 8 years, 10 years now, man, that's what you judging
candid opinion. Let me be very blunt and honest and sincere. Maybe I'm not comfortable the rate of a case in A2 Mikasa. This is my personal view. I may be right, I may be wrong. Because cases of this nature, and my cases be brave or you said that man in 2 Mikasa. And yes, I said that. What did I say? Obin Abrabo, Obin Yasio. You come in Casa, you call some boat. You look at the cases very well, especially if you are for the accused person. You look at the cases very well. So, prosecution per se in 2 Mikasa. And then you know, now the man 2 Mikasa. That is why I say, who has started I said, incident where some money 2 Mikasa for some period. Incident, so no one home. So sometimes when you are doing this, you need to be very careful. You should check cautiously. But in case why? But in my candid opinion, my personal opinion. I will from the brave too technical. Too technical, and yet too technical. And who say we human life? Now who say we human life now? Except you must go all out. Look, one bad focus here, you're calling. I find the motion. In my public domain, I find the motion at the High Court. What is the purpose of the motion? My filing a motion or notice to prohibit the circuit court judge from hearing the matter. Why? Why? Because circuit court judge, you know, that all reminded me about for me. Okay, I said, say my money bail qua, or the qua for your body view. See you. Say my money bail qua, or the qua for your body view. And to me now, proceedings, and you know, that you know, Fabi, the way I mean, can you know, why an argument? And you know, in law, it means that he has descended into the arena of the conflict. I'm not attacking the judge. I am just raising the issue. So I filed a motion or notice to prohibit the circuit court judge. And I believe that by now, and I think it's coming on the either 10th or 12th of the 12th or 13th June. Lawyers in the crowd I sought their permission because I said, me raising. Everybody I cry here, me catch me pan say, for money, but for not on from could go upon common chambers one. Never ban canning, never because very very a semi blue substantive case, the very best ya cocaine submission by Mudakron. And about from then from go for dance bench. As semi blue a man woman because they are all lawyers assistant. When I appoint my emotion, not a make of failure. I can't do it without even giving them the opportunity to read upon commission, adoption, voter junior, a fuck motion. Now I make but as a semi duo and my woman. Maybe I'll go no matter, that's the opportunity. That's bank derby. Because so sometimes when lawyers we are doing cases, sabi kafrachu. Number one saying panic. What President Mahama a petition against Nanado in 2021. You know, we were about 10 lawyers, 10 or 12 lawyers, MPP Kokomlemle, MPP head of about 12. We were about 12 lawyers. A lawyer for Parliamentary, and I share Kokomlemle, MPP. Now, your final petition number 1 or cancel petition number 2. Do me a do 9 cry. And we were not by Frank Davis. So always there, I could jump out. I could general and Frank Davis, no, Sylvia. Yes, only the Sabami and Sunny General there. But yeah, defense to no me a union. A lawyer for Makuma could do me a new. So as lawyer sometimes, Mr. Nicole, cases in the bar. No, my young Catabia, Yamin client, and Timin no. You can assemble about 10 lawyers. No more now, what the margin, no question the amount. Could they wait an American? Could be an petitioner, President Mahama, you know. Your difference, you are about 12 lawyers. So, well, let's wait and see July 4th. But my candid opinion, the American case in A2. Now you're scared, now you're worried. Now you're scared, now you're worried. This is my personal opinion. Wontumi is my friend. Wontumi is my younger brother. Wontumi is my boss. Wontumi is my regional chairman. Wontumi TV. Because every Saturday I benefit from Wontumi. Wontumi should benefit from me. But unfortunately, I don't have the way to express my personal opinion. So let's wait and see. I am not like commentators, but I don't do that. I don't do that. And if you don't catch, oh, now say, because I got a client to phone into your MBB. Now I'm going to be my MBB for. I said, many of my bone for being. I don't know, baby, I'm coming my lab on way. How is that? Yeah. Maybe not if you are offended by me.
1.7
system. Say, as a memo of an emergency center. No, I think Papa pays emergency center and I pay the emergency. And sister, what will be bad? Sorry, if you didn't have a
and one would say, Chairman, no program could buy the yes, what center no a resource center for bare 12 regions referrals. I would go a would so in hospital a be free northern region be for upper west upper east to be a free western north western ebi fifiri miahudo bebre eba ho iti ama wo mo wache wo na ye ni expansion bia ye de be ma no na aye bibia ho
yo kwa me ye no kwe if you say you can't hospital be a teaching hospital a tertiary facility I do be a call SSRE no also tertiary there's training and university and the Sana hospitals here who predict state hospitals are now in what regional hospitals now what do tertiary hospitals are confirm not the account and you say you can't cases to know abro almost what let's say nipa no wo ya to na nanom wo enziado o jase ete ya rahu sempa akoso wo konfanote wo we tenye se NDC ba ye na o ma change konfanote ti wo no ho ana kata se we si ya wa hwa NDC for ko meka se nipa no ho no o ye MPP ni eti na sa de na koso da we de o ma nipa o ana o be ka sa se we ataye na bakwa me de ma asem no ye nyina ye ya ne se tatam kesi say yes here ye hwese nka sector minister e minta kando obehwe konfanoti ti wo no na wa kwa ama dina ye papa etimi eti e wo ho
Okay, fam.
yeah, this one is was zero no for 2 weeks. Meaning, also Sunday no. Na a saving and pana. And I said, na a jimmy power when you accident, you know. I don't know, no, I'm a no about the tunnel. I said, I said, Doctor, before Emma Nesset, no, I can't be ma. Then, yana or 2 4 or 10 to 12 to me, and I didn't know as to the media. I doctor, the new Ferriani and Munyam at the game, and got doctor see that to a striker and got a patient who actually no papa. When the Parliamentary Select Committee, no, on the health, free Parliament, I say, young call a military hospital. Any others there, a car be no. They shed their air court to Ewo. Pakame, you go for a military hospital, yes, she share. And near my who do I what facility or no? You look right.
Okay, fam. Okay, 101.7.
What are you doing here? Who gave you the permission? Where's your letter? The letter was supposed to come from CDR. Why? Having command. And you say, your people's representation, MP, and one more ambassador, the Aquas work of nothing, you know. Yeah, Baba share. Existing facilities now and what Hano. They have said, Aquanya be Baba, my estimate, the Nippani be Abaha, incorporating that Bakame and Navy. I will take your letter, Southern Command, no, to the command, the CDH or the CD1 white, I keep back 21 days. And Sana, the Santimaka replied the other day. I said, I am home system. That's also in all cases, you know. They are to me about a military hospital. Ya confessor, and what emergency center, and Timu at the BPA, you will have me. And what 15 theaters, maternity,
okay, fam. Okay, 101.7.
Come and see. I would do, and Konya Airport BPA is in place there. You bet me at Jennifer and go. Yes, what to consider. And hospital accident center no ebi wo ho ye cause area accident emergency center no ebi wo ho eno ne yakase enka minta kando the best decision I want go take in say otimi ka check of notice you no say a doctor amowa ha no ye fa bi nko afari ye fa bi nko trede ye fa bi enko area then e be ya referral cases are ever be no ye bet me ade ebi alcohol na etimi akọji wo rather than say obeka to was friend the tea no if he says that ade na oye ye no amwa pra but there are some when you say traditional council wo Asante Reji house say next week you know omo to so be ko
okay
na minim say omo ko so da follow the omo be pa the omo dey fa mu ne dia minim dia e be ko so.
So ni mu say baby ti say afari hoyi ayeke military zone no soldier for na bo ho ban maybe kwam se nkofo bi ko ma the same thing so as are happy eti no wo gini say
Bakwame a military zone or not a military hospital. It doesn't prevent ordinary person and our people's representation. Omoya MP. Omoya TBB, I saw Musa said. You see, I day about mine who play almost mean correct, maybe. So the neighbor be doing by it doesn't prevent anybody from assessing the place and now to be bitter. I think here they call say. They quite correct because I summarize you a Nippon pound. That's why a Nippon quack and you say, one existing places. I will buy a bit my boy. You won't quite say a couple. If you say COVID-19, COVID-19, I really will be there. Pentecost of 4 and the one prayer center and one more affected. MISC and Quadi, I show. Now, the baby, I just security say a hospital. That's a real part. You're making me the Nipa of Apogeno. If you see a correct depending on prayer center. I said, I can now.
I'm also possible to say, baby to say a ferry, baby to say a sewa, and me out will be one more. And now a year, ye jar one man by film or came one to us. It is one of the SSS, one by 1.5 years in now, now 8 years and more. What is one the boy almost say?
Rakwame, and Yano Creta. Now, Yama among whom no cry, a costo, a war, a Santimato. As before by 2017. That ended before attack. Not almost every year. Yanka say ended before the chance, you know. And yeah, yeah, Kumawu hospital, no, I'm a Yakomia area. Yes, I will ever show for me NDC for the chance, yes. And also to the Napo at Waswa. When we are hospital now, Yakomisu, Ama Yankomu Ayarshem. You just project here, a Bine Konobo, Sepa, and your friend is saying, and also to Nana Kufado. But then this is your to me, I'm a trust completely. Nina, the real Category, the commission on the 4th of January 2025. There cannot be a situation. President of the Republic, every local commission, facility, the Becca facility, now, I know monopolities na omoye. After military hospital to Subo. And President Kufua and a share of here. And then this is also to buy it. Almost so ever one. But almost to me, envy. Yeah, and also, you're not a year, the hotel you be I'm that to bear 98%. That's why we make it a 98%. Not a car and walk up a military hospital in 2.2 billion Ghana. FPP Kwankwa Asia 2 billion Ghana cedi. Aka 200 million per. You see me Asia Naga. Ya kata hospital no. Ya tia huka ewie. Na no krampo no. I have a challenge say. There will be the oka 2.2. So tia mu 2 billion. Ya ade no wa wie ya ne say wo senka. You see me eye. Na wa wa ditia. Udim soldier for them. Just do before complaint. And my different to me and Kakwate.
Okay,
aside that, aside agenda 111 and Yanka wanted. Baku 23 and on the brain walk reading Moha. Oh, yeah, no, or sounds also F. Vamed Hospital, or not the started from the scratch and will ye. Uncle Sabro no more do of her. Uncle Swami a do of her. Uncle and Fenison, a Chadia a do of her. Uncle Mason Quata a do of her. And I drop also 5 hospitals, Obieno at a time. In a day, no, Obie 5 hospitals. And now them get one. If you have health facilities in there, my can't say, you're here to do an hour. Comfort nothing for crowd, you can't want them. And near my entity for a year, and now them get one. The own back of another who Clerk Center. Just see the come. OSHA intensive baby care unit Rebecca Foundation bɛyɛ ya NPP time oko omo oncology department ya si dan fɛfɛfɛfɛfɛ ama omo na ɛdan bi si hɔ a maternity block na ɛbɛfa nipa 500
no ɛdan no wɔn mo hyɛ ase so wɔn mo si in 1974
sa pɛpɛpɛ bɛ akɔ abɛ mɛdo ase akufo adopo aye abaya baako ɛnso akufo adopo aye a yɛkɔ KUSC ɛkɔfa structural integrity for bɛfɛ ɛdan no ɔsɛ ɛdan no ɛdi 43 years nti abɛ emu ahoɔden nyina da abrɛ ase eti akufo adopo dan ne gu ya wɔn si 800 maternity block ɛduru bɛɛ 90% na kyerɛ sɛ yɛwie ɛdan no a nisa eti ɛba ayarehwɛ di a yɛayɛ bebree nanso so no abɛyɛ afa yɛ ɔhwɛ na anɛɛsefoɔ nkom na ɔmo nkɔyɛ adwuma adan ne politics ɛne yɛpia to wei so ɛne yɛpia to wei so yɛfii sɛ yɛyɛ ne saa nipa nkwa ɛne yɛde di agorɔ nipa nkwa fii ne saa ɛnyɛ adeɛ a yɛbɛtumi di aba eti yɛnya politics no na yɛndi nipa no ho sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a yɛbɛnya afɔmudi ama yɛn nkurɔfoɔ.
ɛyi nana wɔdɔ a wohunu wɔwɔ no a na cement bi akeke gu wɔn.
Rekwa me ya sebo ma famu papa na nyame ohata soe ene di me ho afofie me dirawo na isentofo be fra me se omo ko hu cement be 1000 back a chese ensuo afọ cement no ni nyina keji a adane wo ena se ene we de ma me nko hese ni efipie ena me je se kai se ene me de dodo ho na picture no ana se video no mu twa no yet me actually ye. Eti matu mi 912. Papa me to get me music. I just want just more pege ni mu adi.
Abono na ye premra na sa kyereme ya na sa nanka.
Papa me aye premra ni kyereme o. Me tete ni hu na ye brown ni black no. Would you the poison send the movement?
Okay, FM. Okay. 101.7.
Emergency be coming. And just me see mu Jesus. Na me give and I meet me as far what me so say kind wa me say here. E think am na me ko che wo ho no.
No correct. So be if you are happy about it, no correct. So be obi enim Ghana ha say me kan no correct. Never minded. The Yankopon go with principles and morals and good conscience. Now make do what you believe. Okay, June 4th. And this is the first celebrity. I am about the boy my basso. The day and also best celebrating. Maybe I can say, let's then you see June 4th. And people for being rubbish. No, that rubbish. Women young celebrate and can make MPP. Minority won your press conference and academic day. To tell the whole world that there are lessons to be learned from June 4th. Papa any bonia a womb. Nanina Jerry John Rollins or confess here. Some of the Kunko Fokra non active participants of June 4th and 31st and so or the national reconciliation. John Rollins. But you know,
his company are standing trial over allegations that mining activities were undertaken within their Summary Boy concession and without the requisite authorization. The prosecution alleges that these activities occurred within a forest reserve and constituted unlawful mining operations. The Supreme Court has also dismissed a suit filed by Imani Africa and security analyst Professor Kwesi Inen challenging the president's authority to appoint and remove heads of security agencies. Delivering the judgment, Justice Gabriel Puaman, who chaired the panel, said the court found no merit in the plaintiff's claims and accordingly dismissed all the relief sought. The court also ruled that the offices of the Inspector General of Police and the Director General of the Prison Service do not fall within the protective scope of Article 191 of the Constitution. It further held that the appointments of the Chief Fire Officer and the Comptroller General of the Ghana Immigration Service are governed by statutes and remain within the president's discretion as part of his constitutional responsibility for the nation's security.
In a sense, what we asked for, they haven't given us. But they've decided what to give us, and they've given that to us. And that's what they explained, that in their mind, the offices are not the same. In our law, as it is written, there's no distinction per se. All right, they all come under 191. They are public servants. They are protected, and all those things that we wrote. But the IG, the Supreme Court is saying that 2 of them should be specially treated, and then the others should also be separately treated. And they gave reasons like the security of the state, and the president is the head of the security, and a couple of things which it's not clear to us. We went to court on the basis of the law as it is. And the basis of the law as it is that all these offices are public offices. They are protected under Article 191. You can't just get up and sack a person because you assume office. Assuming office as a president or anything is not cause for sacking others. And there are many cases like that. So we will wait and read the full ruling of the Supreme
Chairman Wontumi. Among other things, Otredako Mensah admitted during cross-examination that he was unaware of the conversation between Wontumi and Henry Okumi, who is the prosecution witness number 2, which resulted in the latter mining on his concession as Samurai Boy. Lord Eduasare reports.
Bernard Enchi Boisiako, also known as Wontumi, is facing charges of assigning mining rights without the approval of the land minister and facilitating illegal mining operations on a Samurai Boy concession in the Western region. Former Western Regional Minister Kwabena Otredako Mensah, who also served as chairman of the Western Regional Security Council, told the court during his testimony that a formal complaint was received from Akonta Mining about the invasion of illegal mining operators on Wontumi Samurai Boy concession. He affirmed that the complaint was written and documented and was urgently acted upon by the Security Council, as it was consistent with several complaints from other mining rights owners in the region about organized criminal groups invading concessions and carrying out illegal mining. During cross-examination by Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Fremsai, the former minister, who served from 2017 to 2025, disclosed that he did not personally know the prosecution's second witness, Henry Okum, the individual who testified that he was commissioned by Wontumi to mine on his concession. Henry Okum had further told the court that Wontumi did not produce any formal mining rights. Asked about the engagement between Okum and Wontumi, Dako Mensah indicated that he was unaware of the interaction between the small-scale miner and the NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman. Lead counsel and the Apia Kubi expressed satisfaction with the outcome of the testimony.
Was to indicate that it was rather Chairman Wontumi and his company that made reports to his office as then chairman of the Western Regional Security Council, and that all efforts made by the Security Council to ward off illegal miners and also to redeem or reclaim the lands so degraded by illegal mining were at his instance. So today's evidence sits very well with our own, and indeed it exonerates people who engage in reclamation of degraded lands.
And we are streaming on Facebook and on our website, so be a part of the show.
We begin from the United Kingdom, where President John Mahama has stated that the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill passed by Parliament is not yet ready for presidential assent, noting that the process still has some way to go. Speaking at Chatham House in London on Monday, he explained that concerns have been raised regarding the bill's passage, particularly issues related to quorum and procedural compliance during parliamentary proceedings.
Parliament has been considering it, and it was supposed to have been passed last week. There have been a few issues raised. One, that there wasn't quorum when it was passed. That's an issue that has come up. And then 2, there were some procedural lapses in terms of its passage. I just got some communication that the Speaker was reading a statement to address the issue of the lapses in the passage of the bill. And so like I said, when I was the opposition leader, the president has a number of options in this matter. It must come for assent, and so once the president gets it, you go through it because you are not part of the discussion in Parliament. And so the legal representative, the legal counsel in the presidency and the Attorney General would sit on it because it was a private member's motion. Right. This was not a government bill. And so we'll look at it and make sure that everything is in order before the president is advised to assent. The president has another option if there are some things that he thinks are a problem. He can refer to the Council of State for advice. The Council of State is an advisory body to the president, and so they will take a look at it, and then they will advise the president. And if there are issues, substantial issues that are raised, the president would return the bill to Parliament, indicating exactly what the issues are. And so there's still quite a while to go before that bill becomes law.
Thank you.
In a related development, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, says he was surprised at the speed by which the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill was passed by Parliament. He has, as a result, summoned the two leaders of the House to explain matters to him, insisting such a critical bill must be passed by consensus.
You know the copious instruments and laws on human rights. All over, you have to go through all, from the UN Charter to the African People's Rights and what, all, you have to go through all. Then we have also our development partners who have a lot of contribution to make. We have the United Nations coming in with proposals on memo and everything. We as Ghanaians also have to dig deeper into our cultures, our customs, our values before we came out with what was passed on Friday. And in fact, when it was passed on Friday, it was even a surprise to me. Because I knew that they were going to start the consideration of the bill. And that was the instructions I left before I went to attend to other activities. It was Friday, and members wanted to go home early to their constituencies, the one we're going to see today. So I knew they wouldn't have completed it. But all of a sudden, I read about this passage. I reacted, and later I saw on TV all the things that happened. And so this evening, I have asked the leaders to meet me in my office. So they will be here for us to go through it. This is such a critical deal that we believe there must be consensus. But it's not about passing the bill. It's about implementing it and making sure that it benefits.
Meanwhile, the Minority Caucus in Parliament has accused government and the ruling National Democratic Congress of weakening the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill through extensive amendments before its passage by Parliament last Friday. The Member of Parliament for Asen South, Reverend John Ntim Fodjo, was addressing a media briefing.
According to Reverend John Ntim Fodjo, the changes proposed in the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill represent a departure from commitments made to Ghanaians by the NDC during the 2024 election campaign. He maintained that existing Ghanaian laws already criminalize same-sex sexual relations and same-sex marriage, adding that the primary objective of the anti-LGBTQ+ bill was to address the promotion, advocacy and sponsorship of LGBTQ-related activities. The Asen South NP cited several amendments, including changes to provisions defining prohibited conduct and the introduction of new clauses, which he argues create exemptions for certain persons and institutions.
Promotion of and advocacy for activities prohibited under this act. This is the main thrust of the object of the bill. This is what we don't have in any part of our existing laws, for which this bill came about. Clause 2 says that nobody should promote any such things. Don't do things that will entice, advocate for, and make it enticing, incentivize, advertise, campaign for it. Don't do it. But they say that no, insert this immunity. This is an immunity clause. You are lifting them above the law and saying that if you are within these categories, you can do anything that promotes LGBT, that advocates for LGBT, supports and sponsors LGBT, enables LGBT, and just by virtue that you fall within these categories, as for you, you are above the law, you should be exempted.
Meanwhile, government and sponsors of the amendment bill are yet to formally respond to the minority's latest concerns. The Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill remains one of the most contentious pieces of proposed legislation in the country.
We said in the House of Parliament because what was expected to be a productive special sitting of the House on Monday ended in disappointment after the House was unable to proceed with key businesses due to the absence of several members of the House and the failure of the Minister for Health to appear and answer scheduled questions. Evelyn Tingma reports.
Parliament traditionally does not